When did you kind of learn about what the Bedlam rivalry meant to? John Michael was talking about how in November when the football team won, they stormed the field, and he could just kind of see like, how much this game meant for people that live in Oklahoma. When did that moment kind of happen for you? Or?
Well, again, I've been a part of rivalries. In high school, I had a real rivalry. Christ the King was it. My best friend played for them, so we didn't ever talk on those days. Like when I was at South Carolina, Clemson was a real rivalry. I went 4-0 against them. I'm never afraid to say that publicly. Proud of what they're doing this year for sure. When I was at Stephen F. Austin, Sam Houston was a rivalry for us. You know, I've been a part of this at a lot of different levels, but this one felt different because I've watched it. So I always appreciated Carolina Duke, Yankees, Red Sox. Like all those things meant something to me growing up. But when I got here, it felt different. And again, I hadn't been a part of this one, and so I didn't know the history of it. But when I was an assistant, I remember, I'm pretty confident the first Bedlam game was in Norman that year, and they had been kicking our butts, from what I understood. You know, Buddy Hield and those guys, you know, that group. And the team that we hadn't really had much success. I think they beat them at home when Juwan was a freshman maybe, but in terms of winning there or sweeping them, hadn't been done in a really long time. And I remember beating them down there because Juwan Evans gets a steal and throws the ball to Phil Forte. And seeing Phil Forte and Leighton Hammonds, who were seniors that year, how much relief and joy they felt from winning that game. And then to turn around and have to come home and follow it up against a team that was pretty good. And I think Juwan scored like 15 straight to win the game. Like, this building was unbelievable that day. And that was the first time that I felt like, oh, this is different than anything I experienced even as a player. And then being a part of it, you know, my first year we get the Trae Young experience, and, you know, my gut instinct told me to do to them what we did the second time, the first time, which was to make him shoot all the balls. I didn't have enough courage and conviction to do it, and then he got like 25 points and 15 assists. And I said, what the heck, if we're going to lose, well, make him score 50. I didn't think he'd really score 50, but he almost got there. What was that?
What's your most memorable Bedlam?
Most memorable Bedlam. I mean, so the Mitchell Solomon one, that was my first win in Bedlam. And Mitchell Solomon's effort, because that's what I want this program to be about, is outworking people. But beating them in basically back-to-back days, not days, but in games when we had Cade. I think the game down there went overtime. He played great. He didn't play as well here. But that was a part of a really strong run for us that year, so that one still sticks in my mind as well.